Can Lebanon and should Lebanon at this point rely on foreign aid? How does the economy look, given what we had known about Lebanon and the explosions yesterday?
Sure. Good morning, Francine. Good morning, Tom. Thanks for having me on. I think to start off, I would just say this is, first of all, a tragedy. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to the people of Beirut and the people of Lebanon. And look, this is probably the biggest blast in the country, in the city, since civil war that ended well over 25 years ago. Having said that, I think everyone's still puzzling over exactly what happened, what caused this, whether this was an accident or whether this was a terrorist attack. If it's the latter, if it's a terrorist attack, obviously very negative, because this could stoke sectarian sessions among the various religious groups in Lebanon. If it's the former, they're both negative scenarios, unfortunately. If it's the former, if it's an accident, that may prompt the downfall of the government, which is already not a particularly strong government. And as we've seen in the past, it takes a long time to form a government in Lebanon. So what does that mean for the economy? Well, this was already, as you mentioned, it was already an economy on its knees. The country defaulted in March of this year, actually before the virus, after years and years of financial engineering unraveled. And, of course, now there are negotiations with IMF. The negotiations are very slow because there are questions about the true finances of the central bank. How big is the hole? How negative are their net reserves? So negotiations are slow, if not stalled. If the government falls, well, then you have nobody to negotiate with, right? So that would just push things out even further in terms of a large potential package from the IMF. I'm sure the international community will step up and give short-term economic aid, humanitarian aid to Lebanon. But for the economy, this is an even more significant hit. Just anecdotally, when I was in Beirut in February, March, there were a lot of discussions about how there are still gems in the Lebanese economy. Privatization will take off. And one of the things mentioned was that, well, there are foreign buyers for the port. Obviously now with the explosion again, it just makes you wonder whether there'll be a lot of foreign interest in investment in the country.